got me wondering how I made it so far. You got me wondering how I'ma heal all these scars. Yeah, but I did this to myself. Yeah, and I just need me some help. I need some therapy. I need some therapy. I need some therapy. I need some therapy. I had a feeling deep inside, and you know the reason why. Why never again I can trust you? Cause you told me not to worry about the person you booed over now. Now you got me stuck with trust issues. Now I'm easy to giving up. It ain't easier for the next. That's trying to heal my core, trying to show me more, trying to love me more. You got me wondering how I made it so far. You got me wondering how I'ma heal all these scars. Yeah, but I did this to myself. Yeah, and I just need me some help. I need some therapy. I need some therapy. I need some therapy. I need some therapy. I think it's funny how in the beginning you used to carry me forever, but I guess forever just means temporary. I'm temporary just allow you to hurt me. Cause you doing surgery, you hurting me, you irking me. Cause everybody love me, your daddy, your granny, still cousins and nannies, there's so many. It was the whole family, yeah. And don't forget the others, all your friends and all your brothers, especially your mother, but you chose love. You got me wondering how I made it so far. You got me wondering how I'ma heal all these scars. Yeah, but I did this to myself. Yeah, and I just need me some help. I need some therapy. 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 You got me wondering how I made it so far. You got me wondering how I'ma heal all these scars. Yeah, but I did this to myself. Yeah, and I just need me some help. I need some therapy. I need some therapy. I need some therapy. I need some therapy. I had a feeling deep inside, and you know the reason why. Why never again I can trust you? Cause you told me not to worry about the person you booed over now. Now you got me stuck with trust issues. Now I'm easy to giving up. It ain't easier for the next. That's trying to heal my core, trying to show me more, trying to love me more. You got me wondering how I...
Yo, what's up? Welcome to the RAVEstream. So I'm a cartoon. That's pretty cool. Tonight on the RAVEstream, we're talking about willpower and doing a special challenge that involves one of our AV team. So don't miss it. The RAVEstream starts now! I forgot to turn the lights on. Cue the music. It's like nothing bad happened at all. Welcome to the RAVEstream. We're at episode 15. That would be 15. Hey, check it out. Oh, you can see my hand through it. Even though you shouldn't be able to see my hand through it, but that's pretty cool. Look, there you can see the lid. That's awesome. I like that. Anyway, this is sponsored by the new ghost flavor of Mountain Dew. I wonder what it looks like when I drink this. If I turn around this way. This is weird. Hold on. That's really weird. Okay. Anyway, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Got several announcements to go through before we get to our devo and then our game at the end. You do not want to miss the game. I was slightly inspired today because I knew Hannah was going to be with us doing the AV stuff, and so we have a fun game that involves Hannah, and if Grace shows up, it will involve Grace as well. So Grace doesn't know that yet, and if Grace shows up, which Jenny can tell us if Grace is coming, because Jenny's online right now, but if Grace shows up, then Grace will be a part of it too. And if not, she can watch online and be jealous because she didn't get to show up and do it. So, hey, so she's coming. She doesn't know, but Jenny knows, which is hilarious. So, we got a game coming up. You don't want to miss the game. I'm not going to tell you any more about it. But announcement-wise, so not this Sunday, but the next Sunday is senior banquet. It's going to be from 6 to 7:30 on May 2nd, that Sunday night. And so if you're a senior, you and your parents show up. We'll either be downstairs in the gym area or we'll be up here in the teen room having dinner and talking and sharing and opening up your time capsule, all kinds of good stuff. But if you are not a senior and you want to come help serve, help set up, we got to set up tables and decorate, and you guys will get fed as well, and we'll help serve and kind of honor our seniors. You guys are more than welcome to show up and be a part of that. So May 2nd, 6 o'clock, if you're a senior. If you're not a senior and you're helping, please show up earlier than that, like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and we'll start setting everything up, and it's going to be a great time. So those are the only things coming up real quick. The other thing that you need to know about, reminders, there is Impact, but we don't have any information on the amount of money for Impact yet. Work camp is coming up. We're going to start work camp signups in May. We're going to wait until beginning of May. You'll be able to sign up for work camp online, and so we're going to start all that because we don't start classes back until Wednesday night classes back until the end of May. But you'll be able to do Impact signups, work camp signups on Sunday mornings in the lobby. You'll be able to do them online. So be ready for that, and we will get situated with all those things in the month of May. So we're going to schedule all of our summer stuff. You'll get more details about that. But we're only like 5 weeks away from being done with our rave streams and doing as a full-time class, and then doing in-person classes. And when we do in-person classes, the set's going to change again. We're going to have a new season coming up. And so it'll be a whole new thing. So be ready for that. I'm looking forward to it. Make plans to be together over the summer. If some of you guys are getting COVID shots, that's great. I get my second one in another week and a half, which is awesome. And if some of you guys are getting that, great. I'm looking forward to getting back together with you guys and doing all of our summer activities, and school's winding down, so graduations and all those fun things. So other than that, we are going to get right into our lesson. So we've been talking about keeping pace, right? We've been talking about what it means to run the race with God. And we've been talking about how to protect your heart and how to prepare for the race. We've been talking about, we've already talked about building a strong foundation, but how do you run the race with God? How do you stay focused and maintain your relationship with God when things get difficult? And we've kind of connected that with running a race. And the word PACE is an acronym that we came up with. It means persistent and consistent effort. Not just effort that never ends, but effort at a particular pace, effort at a particular level that is ongoing and never ends. And so when it comes to your spiritual life, guys, I can tell you the same thing in a million different ways, but your relationship with God starts with you listening to God through His Word and through His people, whether that's a lesson or whether that's a relationship with a friend who you're talking about those kind of things. Listening to God and then talking to God through prayer or through questions or through conversations with other people, that you utilize the spiritual life and the church family that God has given you, including a relationship with God, to get closer to Him. And so that's a huge part. That is the part of growing closer to God and learning more about Him, and then putting the things you learn and hear into practice. Okay, you can know everything there is to know about running, and you may be a great running coach, but you may not be a great runner because you've never run a race. Okay, there's all kinds of people that can be great coaches, but they cannot run the race. And so you can know everything there is to know about God and not do anything with it. And it's unfortunate, it's sad. It's not the life that God has called you to. And when you finally connect with God, when you finally see that kind of life and change your point of view to where you see the things in the world the way God sees them, you connect with people and see people the way God sees them, not as people who are doing you wrong and people to be used to get what you want, but as God's children and as people to be loved. And when you recognize those things, I promise you it's going to change your life, and you're going to be able to run towards those things in ways that you never thought possible. And so we've been talking about all those things. Tonight, we're going to talk about willpower, and this one's got a little bit of a twist on it. So I'm going to start with a verse that doesn't necessarily talk about willpower, but it explains the idea of willpower. So one of our first verse is from Luke chapter 9, and this is around the time Jesus, and this verse is in a lot of the Gospels. It pops up in a lot of different ways. Jesus talks about it a lot. And it's not just a story, it's foreshadowing as to what Jesus is going to do on the cross. But in Luke chapter 9, Jesus says this. And we're going to pull it up. So are you on the full screen, full set source? Okay, go over there and look at the Bible verses. You see them? Oh yeah. Yeah. You gotta, there you go, there it is. Got it. So this verse, Luke chapter 9, verse 23, Jesus is talking to his disciples, and he says to them all, if anyone would come after me, he must deny himself. Let him deny himself and take up, that's weird. Okay, I see why I did that. See the little letters that shouldn't be there? Apparently when I copied and pasted this thing, it had little like highlighted portions where it was telling you where these verses pop up. So it looks like it says, let him to deny himself and take up his cross daily. That's not what it means. I'm going to read it like a normal human would read it. If anyone would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. Now, this verse doesn't seem like it has anything to do with willpower, but I'm going to ask you some questions. First, when it comes to willpower, I think a lot of us think willpower is something that comes out of us, something that I get strength from myself, this inner strength to move on, to do something. You know, the get up, you know, fall down 9 times, get up 10. You know, if you're hurt, walk it off. Those kind of things. That's willpower. That when you can't go on anymore, that you summon the strength inside. That it's all heart or something like that. But the Bible tells us, even though willpower might be a thing, I'm going to ask you, based on this verse, does it look like this is something that we can do every day? Now, Jesus tells us, I'm going to go over here and point to it, to take up your cross daily. But that's not the part that bothers me. The part that bothers me is where he says, let him deny himself. So there's a portion of yourself, if you're having to deny yourself in order to take up your cross daily, the reverse of that, the opposite of that, is if you don't deny yourself, that which appears to be your normal everyday nature. If you don't deny yourself, the version of you that does not deny yourself does not take up your cross and does not follow God. So your natural state of being is to not take up a cross, to not carry a burden, to not follow Jesus. That's your normal state of being. And so our own power, our own strength, according to Jesus, is not enough, because we have to deny ourselves. We have to deny our own power and take up Jesus' cross, take up his path, his life, his sacrifice. Do the things that Jesus did and do that daily. The life that we live already with our own willpower is not capable of that. If it were, Jesus wouldn't have to say, deny those things. He would say, if anyone's going to come after me, muster up the strength, carry your cross. If anybody's going to come after me, take up the cross and follow me. He wouldn't have to tell people to do this. They'd already be doing it. He's telling them, deny what you know to do, deny your own power, and do this thing that I'm calling you to do. So there's something else outside of our own power, and you won't find hardly any place. In fact, that'd be a really good challenge. If anybody can find a spot in Scripture where it talks about our own power, us being called to do things with our own power rather than in partnership with God, I'm all ears. Tell me. Let's find it. But going to look at two other verses. We were just in Luke. Our first verse is in Philippians, and both of these verses are going to come out. There's a verse in Philippians, there's a verse in Zechariah, and both of them talk about not willpower, but some other power. And this is an explanation of why God does not want us to trust in our own power, which is what we would call our willpower, our thrust to do things with our own strength. And in Philippians chapter 2, Paul says, it is God who works in you both to will, which is our word, both to will and to work for his good pleasure. So it's God inside of us that wills things to happen, that works in our lives to make these things happen. And so it's not by our own power that we follow God. It's not something that we can, if I just think hard enough and I work hard enough, then I'll be close to God. You're going to forget to read your Bible. You're going to forget to pray. But you need to have more than just one habit in place as a relationship with God. Go visit your church family on Sundays and Wednesdays. Go to teen events over the summer. Watch these videos during the week. Some of you guys, I think that's been one of the great things about the RAVEstream is some of you guys watch on Wednesday nights, and a lot of you guys watch on Thursdays and Fridays. I pay attention to the numbers just to see how many people are watching this, and I know that it's not random folks out there. It's a lot of people in the youth group that watch this on Thursdays and Fridays, and that's awesome. You're getting God's word and a connection with the body on a day of the week that you weren't getting it normally. So watch these things, connect with the body in different ways. If you live next to people in your youth group, if you go to school with other Christians, even if they're not in the central youth group, they're believers. Connect with them. Because it is not our own will, but God who works in us to do these things. Remember, we're denying ourselves. We're denying and suppressing our own willpower to let God do things. The way that Paul puts it in other verses, and he says it in a bunch of different ways, but he actually says it verbatim. And I wish I had it up there, but I just thought of it off the top of my head, is that when Paul says, when I am weak, God is strong, that I don't boast in my weaknesses. I don't boast in my strengths. I actually boast in my weaknesses, because when I'm weak, God gets to be seen more often. Everybody knows that I'm not good at this. So when I do those things, it's not me that does them. It's God that does them. That's awesome. So he loves being able to tell people, these are the areas I'm weak. I'm not good at this. So when everybody sees, wow, Paul's really good at that, he can go, no. He's not good at that. That's God working through him. Zechariah says it another way. And this Zechariah passage is a little bit out of context, but I need to give you the story behind it. So I need to give you the context before we read it. So try not to read it. Don't look at it. And Zechariah, hey, look, see? Hannah did it. She got rid of it. Yay. Good job, Hannah. This verse in Zechariah is a book of prophecy. It is about Zechariah. He is seeing visions and getting all these things, and he's talking to an angel, and he's seeing these seals being opened and all these things happening, and he sees this scroll, and it's got words on it, and he asks, what is that? And the angel says, do you know what this is? And he says, no. And the angel says, these are the words to the Lord. These are the words from the Lord to Zerubbabel. Now, Zerubbabel is this guy that rebuilds the temple. That's basically all you need to know. The temple's been destroyed, and he helps rebuild the temple. The temple's gone in Jerusalem now, but the Wailing Wall, if you Google the Wailing Wall, it is one of the walls that is left, the only thing that is left of the temple that the Jews worshipped in. And it's the temple that Zerubbabel built. It's the last time that it was ever rebuilt and renovated and so on and so forth. And that's all that's left of it. So Zechariah is getting these visions, and he sees these words that the Lord said to Zerubbabel. And that's what this verse is. So that's what we're reading. We're not reading Zechariah's words. We're not reading conversations that God had with Zechariah. We're reading a conversation that God had with Zerubbabel that Zechariah is now getting to kind of see the closed captions of, so to speak. So put the verse back up there, and now we'll read it. We just read Philippians, and we talked about it's not our work, it's not our power, but it's God working in us. And then Zechariah has this moment here. It says, then he said to me, this is the angel talking to Zechariah, this is the word of the Lord to Zerubbabel. And he says, this is God telling Zerubbabel, not by might, nor by power. So these things that you're going to do, it's not by your strength or your willpower or your, force of will or your own spirit. Not by might or force, not by power, what you can muster, but by my spirit, says the Lord. That's pretty cool. I think these two verses, if Jesus tells us to take up our cross, to do things his way, to deny ourselves so that we can do things his way, we can put down our desires and our will and the things we want to do and pick up his will and his way and his path, that it's not by our power that anything gets done. When we set those things down, God gives us something better in its place. It's his will. It's his might, his spirit, his power. You could call it spirit power. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's God's spirit working in us. So when it comes to the way you're forgiven of your sins, when it comes to overcoming temptations and struggles, go talk to the guys at His Way. They will tell you, and the people that teach there will tell you, it's not enough to learn skills and techniques to overcome addiction, because those things will fail, but it's those skills and techniques coupled with a relationship with God where He gives you the increase when those skills fall flat. Okay? When it comes to running, we're going to take that metaphor. There's a time when you're running where your chest hurts. It burns to breathe. Your muscles ache. They get weak. When Asher first started, he played soccer when he was real little, and when he was real little, he had all the energy in the world. And now that he's gotten a little older, he feels that burn when he runs. And when he first started feeling it, he would slow down. He would stop because he would ask to be taken out of the game because he thought he was hurting. He thought something was wrong, not realizing you can run through that. You can run in spite of that. And a good runner not only knows that they can run in spite of that, and they use their own mental power to run in spite of that, to basically deny their own mind and trust their coaches and run through the pain, run in spite of the pain. But there's something that a lot of runners, if they run for a long distance, they talk about hitting a wall. I experienced that one time. I say one time. I had some other things happen when I played soccer in high school, and I was sick, and I would kind of run in spite of that, and my body would get sick and tell me to stop. But that actual wall, rather than just your body going, hey, you got to stop, you can't go anymore, and that kind of thing. But I rode in a race, not a race. I did a 100-mile bike ride with a bunch of other people, and I'd only ridden about 70 miles at most. Most of my rides were 40 miles, 20 miles, 30 miles. And I did this race, and right around mile 60, I mean, I'm a tiny guy, and so you burn a lot of calories when you ride. And so my shirt has pouches in the back where I can put food like sandwiches and pretzels and bananas and things like that. And so I'm stopping. I'm either eating while I'm riding, or I'm stopping every 10 or 15 miles at rest stations to stretch, to drink more water, to eat, all those kind of things. But at about mile 60, my whole body slowed down. I ran out of calories. Now I had some other things. I had some sugar chews, and I had some jelly beans and some things that like gave you a jolt of energy real quick. But I hit a wall for about 10 miles where every single pedal push was, I just had to run my whole body down onto the pedal over and over. Going downhill, I just let it glide, and I went very, very, very slowly, knowing that I was so far from home, I had no choice but to keep running the race, but to keep going. There were parts that were uphill, and I used a lot of energy there, but it was very, very difficult. And when you hit that wall, it's not just your body telling you can't go any further, but your mind starts playing tricks on you too. I can't do it. I've got to stop. You got to stop. And I was so far away from home, I had to keep going. At that point, it was, I either keep going or I have to stop, and that means somebody's got to come pick me up. And so I kept going. And the rest of the race was a little slower, but once I got through mile 60, 65, 70, and I hit 72, 73 miles an hour, I got some energy back. I was able to keep riding. I realized that my legs would still keep moving. I realized that my body would still keep going, and I was able to finish the race. But there is always a time spiritually in your life where you feel like, I can't go any further. This is as far as I can go. This is as much as I can do. This is too difficult. And that's where your willpower falls apart. It's where friends of mine who have dedicated their lives to ministry, have gone to college and learned things, or had to develop their own spiritual lives away from what their parents had taught them, and they started questioning it, and they went, I don't believe this anymore. I didn't believe it to begin with, because they never developed it on their own. They never worked on their own muscles. They never got this spirit in their life to where the spirit sustained them. They never did that. And so when their parents' power and their own willpower failed, they had nothing to fall back on. They had never experienced God. And guys, you have to experience God in your own way. Read the Bible for yourself. Read other things too. I know there's a lot of other stuff out there, and I may be one of the only, I don't know very many ministers that would tell you this, but if you want to know things about atheism, if you want to know things about Buddhism, if you want to know things about other kinds of religion, read about them. Ask questions about, why do they think they're real? Why do they think this is a real thing? What are their reasons for not believing in God if it's atheism? But when you look at those questions, look back at God's word and get the answers. Look back at Christian authors. Talk to other Christians who know these kinds of answers and get those answers. Don't just get one side of the story. Get the other side. The Bible will tell you, and God says He's not afraid of your questions. He knows that people who are seeking His truth will find it. But you have to be seeking the truth, not seeking the answers that you want to hear. When you get answers that feel good to you and you stop, that's when things get bad. And I've seen too many people do that. You have to experience God for yourself. And it's not just about reading it and understanding it and knowing the answers to all these questions and being able to defend it. It's about experiencing it. When God's word says, take care of the orphans and the widows, go seek out orphans and widows and take care of them. When it says, take up your cross daily, figure out what that means. Deny yourself, deny your things. When it says, have nothing to do with this, or don't do that, or do this daily, pray in your closet. Go do that. Try those things. Practice godly things and see what happens. You have to fill your life with God. If you don't, it is nobody's fault but yours. And if you're listening to this, there is no way that you can find me in the great beyond and go, you never told me, I never understood, I never figured it out. Because I'm going to be standing in the line to heaven looking at you going, yeah, I talked to you about it. I told you over and over and over again. You have to do this for yourself. And we can help each other and we can be there together, and I can help you find those answers and I can help explain those kind of things to you. And when you struggle and you don't want to do it anymore, I can tell you stories about when I struggled and I didn't want to do it anymore. And I kept doing it in the way that God blessed me and the way that God revealed himself in my life. And we can do this together. But you have to stay on the path. You have to keep running the race. And that's not willpower. That's not strength of your own, but that's letting go of that power and filling your life with God's power, filling your life with God's strength. And that's a daily, continual thing. And so I encourage you guys to do that. I pray that you'll continue to do that. We'll continue this discussion next week. There's several more verses that were too lengthy and to add to today, but too important to just let go. So we're going to talk about willpower again next week. And that's all I've got for you guys. So prayers and blessings to you guys. If you want to pause it and pray on your own, I would encourage you to do that. I pray for you guys all the time and pray that God will bless your lives and bless the rest of your week at school. But we're done with our lesson. And so that leads me, and Grace doesn't know this unless Hannah let her know, but Grace is going to be a part. Come here, Grace. Come here, Grace.
She's wearing the best outfit.
Grace is in green. You're not going to get to see Grace and part of her head. Yeah! That's so awesome!
She got in here like you have to go in front of her.
Okay, so if you want to be seen, I can give you a jacket. You want my jacket? You want my jacket?
Sure.
Okay.
I was like, you can borrow mine except mine.
I'm super excited. This
mine.
is my homemade Loki jacket.
That's awesome.
And if you've seen the Loki trailer, he wears a jacket that says this on the back of it. And I made my own Loki.
I'm so excited for that movie.
My own Loki jacket. So there's your jacket. You just gotta zip it up so
Guys,
that.
Jenny said that's disturbing.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move this around a little bit because.
No, I did not tell Grace.
Okay, so I'm gonna move the camera up just a little bit.
Your head is fun.
We're gonna adjust the microphone too when I do this because we're standing up. So we are doing. I had this fantastic idea that may or may not be a fantastic idea after we're done with it.
It's really fun. I've done it before.
But so here's what we have, Grace. Actually, here's what we're gonna do. Before we do this, go to the featured video and actually turn on the audio. I'll turn this down. You got the audio on?
You know what has gluten in it? Everything! Every reason to wake up in the morning!
What?
I knew that Grace I knew Grace would be confused by it. I knew Hannah would really like that. We're doing the RAVEstream Gluten Challenge. So here's what this is. We have regular Chips Ahoy. Hold on. We have regular Chips Ahoy chocolate chip cookies. And we have gluten-free chocolate chip cookies.
Boy, does Jennifer wish you were here now.
We have gluten-free Oreos and regular Oreos. We have gluten-free graham crackers. Oh, look! It matches. That's awesome. Gluten-free graham crackers and regular graham crackers. We have
Regular or regular? That's one.
we have gluten-free tortilla chips with gluten-free salsa
Yeah, sorry, Allie. You're just gonna have to come next time.
and regular tortilla chips.
The funny thing is, I'm pretty sure that regular tortilla chips are gluten-free anyway.
They might be if they're made with corn,
I know the one that we get are. Poor Greek.
but they might be. And then we have some other gluten-free Oreos.
Certified gluten-free.
Certified gluten-free. Oh well.
I know because like I eat this all the time. I love them.
Well, then we'll do a. These are the ones I always eat, and I think they taste great. And these are the ones from Whole Foods that hipsters and millennials eat, and we'll see which ones taste better. And then some other stuff that I couldn't find the gluten-free equivalent of because I didn't have time, or the gluten infused kind. But I do have gluten-free sugar cookies and gluten-free cinnamon chips that we're gonna try as well. So
Jennifer, that's low.
here's what we're gonna do.
That's
I'm gonna
so low.
put all this stuff over here, and we're gonna do one thing at a time. So we're going to there's lots and lots of
Okay,
things.
so every night I asked Jennifer to watch BTS with me because we absolutely adore BTS. We watch
Just BTS, or are you into like all kinds of K-pop?
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. And so now she's bribing me that I should bring her some home so that she'll watch K-pop with me if I do. Okay, I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
because the winner of the gluten-free challenge is Hannah, because Hannah gets all this stuff. She's gonna get to take all this stuff home because she can't eat the non-gluten, the gluten-y stuff.
Hey Hannah, if you want me to be in that skit with you, you better no, I'm just kidding.
Okay. So, so Grace is gonna go first, and so I've got well, I won't blindfold you, but I'm going to mix these up. Oop. Never mind.
Do you know which one that was?
I do. Okay, so
Do I have to guess?
okay,
Which one is which?
so
You know it says on the cookie. It does? Thanks for telling me that, Hannah.
so I think we're good. Okay, so you're gonna have to take a bite of each one of them and tell me which one's gluten free and which one's not.
Oh no.
Okay, so and then I'll do it back. Okay, so actually we'll do it at the same time. So here, come over here. Hannah's gonna do this with us, so we can do it at the same time. So
Wait, that's to my right. No,
so hold on. We won't look at these. So we'll do two trays. All right. So here's the gluten-free ones. Here's the regular ones. So we're gonna turn around and she's gonna mix them up. We can't look at those cookies because one of them does say gluten-free on it.
Wait,
So
okay,
just move the trays around so we don't know which tray is which, but you know which one is gluten-free and which one is not.
I love this green wall. So artistic.
And the paint has like perfume in it or something, and so it smelled great when we painted it. Okay, so mix them up. You know which one is which, and we're going to try them and figure out which is which. Okay, so don't look at the cookies. I'm gonna take this one over here. Take this one over here.
Where
Okay.
is
I
this
can
one? Give it to you.
Okay, we're gonna try this one first. Okay. Okay, set that one back down. I think that might have been the regular one. I haven't even tried the gluten-free one yet.
It's normal.
I'm an Oreo connoisseur. Okay, let's take this one. Take one of these. Oh, I don't know. There was an aftertaste. I don't know yet. Hold on. Wait.
Oh, I taste that. Yep.
Here we go. Ready? Oh yeah, that was the gluten-free. That's the gluten-free one.
The second one?
Yes.
Yes.
Ah!
Y'all were like, oh, there's an aftertaste. I'm like, that's this normal. This one doesn't taste really like anything. The crust stuff.
It's still really good. It almost tastes exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
But the initial bite, there was like
it's a texture difference.
there was a brief blandness, like a brief like that doesn't taste quite right, and then it like went away. I was like, oh yeah, that's totally not. But it wasn't bad. Those are great.
That's more salty. Like that.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know, it's weird.
It's just a brief thing and then it goes away. It's probably the cookie, but not the cream. That's my guess. I don't know. Let's find out. Cream's just as good. May not be as sweet. They take something out of it.
Probably, you know, they put gluten in it to make it thicker.
It's delicious. Whatever gluten is, it's delicious.
Jennifer, so good. So good.
Okay. Yeah, that's excellent.
You're gonna kill me when I
So,
get home.
Hannah gets gluten-free Oreos. Okay, here we go. The chocolate chip cookies. Okay, so we're going to use this bag right here. It's a trash bag.
You stink. Oh, I know I stink. Actually, I took a shower this morning, so I probably.
So
stink.
she doesn't.
And I put deodorant on.
Okay, here we go. I feel like that's the main, I feel like that's the main sign of adolescence is when you actively start using deodorant on your own. No. The first sign of adolescence is when you need deodorant. The sign of maturity is when you use it on your own without being told.
I'm so mature.
There you go.
No. I
I was
think.
about to say,
Hey Jennifer, if I got.
Oh, these have different these look different too. So
And they're like thicker.
there's inside here. That was
Oh yeah. Those are fat.
they are.
They need to go on a diet. Those cookies.
So this might just be a taste test because they don't look the same. Maybe we like break them so we don't know what's what and just grab like the edge. I'm not sure.
how about like y'all break them and then like I'll give them to you while you don't see. Like you can't see what I give to you.
Okay. Yeah, that'll
So
work.
you just stick it in our mouth. That's
Well, no,
disgusting. I'm
you
kidding.
just
I
close
don't
your eyes
know.
and I'll give it to you.
Yeah. So there, we'll break it up into pieces like that, and you
You
won't
still
know.
probably tell because it's thicker, but
A little bit, but hey, I tell you what, we'll just hold out our hand flat so
Mhm.
we can't tell, and then
so I put the
Eat
same
it.
one on each.
put the same one in each hand. Okay. Just lay it down flat. Yeah, I can't tell. Okay, ready? Here we go. Eat it.
Normal. That's normal.
I feel a little stale.
Okay.
You know, if that is chips away, I forgot how much. I totally can't tell the.
Okay.
Here we go.
That's gluten free. That's gluten
That's the gluten free one. It was
Yeah.
thicker, but it was better. I like that better.
Mhm.
I think Chips Ahoy just suck. There's a little bit of an aftertaste. Different. Well, I mean, that one had an aftertaste too because they're awful. But the chocolate chips taste the same, but the whatever they make it with tastes a little different. That's not bad. Not bad.
No, we got Nora pretzels
That tastes doughy.
and gluten free pretzels. You could definitely tell this.
That does taste doughy.
Gluten free are so much better.
That does taste doughy. I should have gotten us something to drink, and I didn't. You get gluten-free chocolate chip cookies now.
That's gonna be very hard to find gluten-free water.
Okay, this is the one that's going to, I think is going to make all the difference.
This one's gonna be really easy. Gluten-free graham crackers are not that good.
Really?
Okay, well it depends on what brand. There's one brand that's pretty good. I've never tried this one, but typically they are not.
Okay, so while I'm opening it, so I went in, the place that I knew I would get the most of this stuff was Whole Foods. And so I went into Whole Foods for the first and hopefully last time in my life.
Same, I hate Whole Foods.
Besides the fact that it was insanely expensive. I know, not even a Mountain Dew. Besides the fact that it was insanely expensive.
There's a Mountain Dew right there. It's hiding.
Yeah, but I finished it. Oh, I didn't. Hold on.
I don't like Whole Foods. It smells weird.
I finished it.
I agree with you, Allie. It is disgusting.
But the thing I did not like about Whole Foods, I say I didn't like because it's gonna sound like I didn't like the people. It was an interesting experience. I would go back in there like I would go to the airport and people watch. because I saw more man buns and overalls worn. Like I've seen overalls because I live in Newmarket and I went to Buckhorn, but I saw more overalls that were being worn in a sarcastic way, like for real. And like, you ever remember years ago that big hat that Pharrell wore?
No.
Oh my goodness, you have to Google that. I will Google it later. Google Pharrell, hat. Pharrell, Pharrell. Pharrell hat. And it basically looked like the Arby's hat. It's this big, giant cowboy hat.
We should probably break these up too.
Yes. So.
Yeah, I don't like Whole Foods. It's really expensive. It smells weird. I do like some stuff you get there.
It smells weird.
It does.
That's why you wear a mask.
No, it's still through the
I'm
mask.
kidding.
Okay, there we go.
Aldi has really good gluten-free stuff.
I have an invisible shirt. Do y'all like my invisible shirt?
Ghost Grace.
Of course, that wouldn't work. Why would that work? There's a whole person there. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Give one of them. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Okay.
Ah, no comments.
I mean, I'm not a graham cracker connoisseur, so
Exactly.
there you go. Ready?
Yep.
Here we go.
Gluten-free. Gluten-free. So gluten-free.
Yeah, that was a gluten-free one.
It tastes weird.
I really not that good. I like them with peanut butter on them.
They went heavy on the honey.
Mm.
That's what they did. They went heavy on the honey.
They taste the same as every other gluten-free snack.
Oh, it like turned into cardboard. Ugh. Oh, that aftertaste is bad.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
People say that gluten-free bread is bad, but the graham crackers are worse.
What in the world, man? Oh, that got bad fast. That's the only one. It started out okay, but goodness gracious.
It's good with peanut butter because you can't taste the aftertaste.
Oh, we gotta drink something in a hurry. Ugh, gross.
Honey
Oh my gosh.
Honey covers a multitude of sins.
If you want to burn these, I'm fine.
Robbie, honey covers a multitude of sins.
Honey does cover a multitude of sins, but not gluten. Not gluten-free well enough at all.
That was disgusting.
Okay, here we go. So, these are both gluten-free, but I want to see if we can tell the difference between the name brand stuff and
I
the.
want to see if I can do this one.
Oh yeah, so I'll let you guys do this. So,
Oh my word! I have a
and then we're gonna try these with the
gluten-free salsa.
we're gonna try these with the gluten-free salsa. Just
Most salsa is gluten-free too.
yeah.
There's such thing
Some
as
is
gluten-free salsa.
Well, because it's mostly just vegetables, right?
Sometimes they use the thickener.
Oh hey, listen,
Since when?
listen. Is that not the grossest noise ever?
Oh, I've heard worse. I bet Grace has too with all of the brothers. I'm just saying.
You only have two brothers.
We're talking about farts. Is that what we're talking about?
No, Josh.
Because girls fart too.
No, Josh.
Not as bad.
If you no,
Not as bad.
Not
Don't
true.
say that. No, Joshua will make.
I've been married long enough to know that is not true.
Joshua used to make these things called garbage experiments, and they made some
Okay,
terrible ones.
so close your eyes.
Why are you being sus?
Okay, eat. Okay, so tell me what you got. Did you get the name brand or the Whole Foods brand?
Whole Foods, I think.
Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Okay, close your eyes. Okay, ready?
1 second.
Okay. That was disgusting.
That was not fun.
You just hear no. I
Okay, go.
Oh, real crap.
Okay, did you get the name brand or the Whole Food brand? So you said the Whole Food brand the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So you said the Whole Food brand the first time.
I think that was the Whole Food brand.
You think that was the Whole Food brand? What do you think?
That was.
So the second, okay. So you were right the first time. I actually gave you both a different one both times. So you both got one of each both times. So the first time you were right, the first one was the whole food one, and the second one was the name brand. So the last one you had was the name brand. Yours was the other way around. You had the name brand one first, and the whole food one second.
That's one definitely more salty.
Oh, that's a good chip. I mean, they're all, like you said, they're all gluten-free to begin with. That's a good chip. That Michelin chip's awful.
I like the texture of that one better.
Okay, gluten-free salsa.
Oh, you're right. You're right, Jennifer. Clay does do it much worse. Johnny's even worse, if that's even a word.
That's excellent. I'm all in. These are good chips. These are good chips.
They're more expensive.
Yeah, they're insanely expensive. But they better be good for that money. But the salsa's good too. We're just eating in front of you guys. This is great.
It's so good, though, y'all.
Okay, now we're just trying this for the fun of it. Grain-free cinnamon chips. Churro strips. Made with avocado oil.
I hope it's bread.
Bet you didn't know that avocados had oil.
Yes.
You'd be right. They don't. It's like almond milk. There's no such thing. Because you can't milk an almond. Okay, here we go.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Really good.
It tastes like something I've had before. Or something I've smelled before.
Tastes like that one type of cereal.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch? Like stale Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I like it.
Those are good. Yeah. So, we have discovered that most gluten-free stuff is not that bad.
Except for graham crackers.
Except for graham crackers.
And I would have admit that those were bad beforehand.
The graham crackers were really bad.
And next time,
Pretzels.
those gluten-free pretzels are
They're so
better.
good.
Ooh,
They're
yeah.
so good.
I did not think of these, but they're better.
No!
Sorry.
You're supposed to eat it slowly in front of them.
I don't want to give you those bags of chips back. Hey, I don't have to.
You don't have to.
Look, they're both gluten-free. So, the other thing we get to try. Do we want to try?
Okay,
Yes. What?
this is bad.
They're
That's open as grams. I like.
They're sugar cookies. They're called Partake.
I really like the salsa. I never had some.
The salsa's good. I'm enjoying the taste of the chips in my mouth and the salsa, so I'm not gonna eat one of these.
Oh, corn cream.
I noticed that regular cookies seem to hold together better than gluten-free cookies. They look more brittle.
It doesn't taste like anything. It just tastes like
sugar cookies.
Are the
Oh, the aftertaste.
oatmeal butterscotch cookies that y'all make, are they gluten-free?
None of the ones Allie makes are gluten-free. She tries to make them gluten-free.
Thanks, Allie.
And then remembers as soon as she puts in the flour. Every single time she tries to make them gluten-free, she remembers that she's supposed to make it gluten-free after she puts in the flour. These are good. These is like every other sugar. Gluten-free sugar.
So, your dad does not know that I'm giving you all of this junk food, which is amazing. That's my favorite thing to do as a youth minister, is to sugar teenagers up and send them home.
that is a great idea. Keep doing that.
Thanks for playing the gluten challenge.
What are you gonna say next? I like to thank the Academy.
Speech.
I like to take my allergies. Oh, I like to take my allergies. And my mom for giving them to me.
Aw. Thanks, Mom. We get to take all this stuff back over to the teen house, where it will sit. Actually, the Oreos may come home with me. The chips are definitely coming home with me. My wife may not get some of those because they're delicious. I'm not a tortilla chip guy, but those are awesome. All right, so That's right. I'm your crazy uncle.
Oh yeah, Daddy, we were, someone's being creepy, and Allie was like, hey Hannah, you know how you have so many honorary brothers that like would beat him up for you? And she's like, and so many honorary dads too. Like, I mean, like Rodney, and Daddy yelled from across the house, Rodney does not get the privilege of being an honorary dad. He gets the privilege of being honorary uncle, or honorary crazy uncle.
I'm old enough to be a dad.
Oh no, this was right after I told him about the pen that we found at the...
Yeah, I guess that's yeah, I guess that's probably why. I need to get the salsa too. Although I really want the salsa. Okay, so Hannah, Grace, y'all tell everybody bye,
Bye.
and
Bye.
we will wrap up the rave stream. So wrap it up.
Always remember that God made you special and He
He
loves
loves
you
you
very
very
much. Goodbye!